Hey everyone, it's December 19th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with Swedish murderer Ulf Olsson, known as the Helene Man, who murdered at least two victims in 1989, but may have more victims out there, and that is him right over there. And I'd like to apologize for my terrible Swedish pronunciation. Born in 1951, Olsson grew up in a strict family with abusive parents and preferred to spend time in the woods alone rather than return home where he would be beaten. Though his siblings seemed to make it through their troubled adolescence without lasting damage, he became known as the town weirdo as a teenager. A mediocre student, he only excelled in art class and never made friends with kids his own age, instead preferring to play with younger children at school. He worked as an errand boy once he graduated, but ultimately had a nervous breakdown and was sent to an asylum. After 2 months, he was deemed fit to return to society and worked at a slaughterhouse for 2 years until his mental state started to slip yet again. This time he joined the crew of a merchant ship to get away, sailing around the world. Olsson later claimed to have killed a man in Thailand during this time, but that was never confirmed. He also claimed to have briefly joined the French Foreign Legion, but that also has never been confirmed. Olsson returned to Sweden in the 1980s and was pretty quickly married and divorced twice in rapid succession, moving into a remote cabin outside the town of Hur. That's H-O with an umlaut, O with an umlaut, R, Hur, not Hor. Just clarifying that Sweden doesn't have a town named that. In 1989, a 10-year-old girl went missing in the town with her body found 6 days later. Evidence showed that she had been held for several days, severely beaten, and sexually abused before she was killed. Later that year, a 26-year-old prostitute disappeared with her body found the next day. DNA evidence wasn't yet able to be examined, so the crimes weren't tied to one another, and while the police had plenty of suspects, no one was arrested for either murder. In 1991, an anonymous call was placed by Olsson to police saying on the phone, "I'm so lonely. That's why I did it. It just happened to be Helene. She was just there. And Janica. I got so angry that I killed her. I strangled them and beat them to death." They weren't able to trace the call, and nothing happened until 13 years later when the lead investigator received a CD-ROM in the mail with a confession letter. It read, "Hadn't I been bullied while in Hornby Elementary School, this never would have happened. I killed Helene and Janica. I did it alone." Two suspects had been arrested the previous year, but were cleared when it became apparent they couldn't have killed either of the victims, but the culprit was still as of yet unknown. Olsson was on a list of 29 suspects who were asked to provide DNA samples in 2004 to try to match evidence recovered from the crime scenes 15 years earlier. They got a match, and he was arrested that night. He was convicted of both murders and sentenced to life behind bars in a psychiatric clinic. In 2010, Olsson hanged himself in his room, bringing an end to this sad saga. These murders are widely considered to be the worst thing to ever happen in Sweden until Ace of Base released the album The Sign. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone's birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Ulf Olsson, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.